The canopy shivers as the first streaks of dawn pierce the dense rainforest sunlight, filtering in golden shafts through the humid mist. A band of Australopithecus emerges from the shadows of ancient figs and towering lianas, their wiry frames moving with cautious precision. Each step on the mossy forest floor sends soft squelches echoing through the undergrowth, a rhythm of life tethered to survival. In the distance, the rumble of water warns of the swollen river, its currents swollen from the overnight rains, threatening to erase the thin line between safety and calamity. The band's sharp eyes flicker to the treetops, alert to every twitch, every shadow, the flick of a tail, or the screech of a distant primate, because predators lurk both above and below. One of the younger males crouches low, fingers brushing the muddy earth, feeling vibrations, an instinct older than memory itself. He signals with a subtle tilt of the head. The group freezes, every sinew taut, as the faint rustle of wings reveals a hawk circling overhead, hunting for unwary juveniles. Survival demands vigilance, but hunger drives them onward. Their morning begins with gathering the forest, offering a mosaic of sustenance, tender shoots of wild bananas, the resinous roots of medicinal plants, and clusters of berries hidden in thorny thickets. One Australopithecus kneels over a small herb, crushing leaves between skilled fingers, mixing sap with water, gathered in a broad leaf, crafting a bitter tonic to soothe a cough that has plagued the youngest member. Another strips bark from a fallen branch, sharpening it against stone to form a crude digging tool, while the rest of the band watches the perimeter, eyes darting to the shadows where movement hints at either game or threat. Suddenly, a scream, a piercing cry, echoes from deeper in the thicket. The band halts, muscles coiling. A rival troop of Homo habilis emerges, brandishing crude clubs, eyes wide with territorial assertion. A standoff ensues, tense and silent, each side sizing the other up, weighing risk against reward. After a tense heartbeat, the rival troop retreats, leaving behind a single dropped fruit, a token of both challenge and reprieve. The Australopithecus exhale as one heart still hammering and gather the fallen sustenance, the tension dissolving into cautious celebration. By mid-morning, the sky darkens as storm clouds gather over the rainforest, the wind picking up in sudden gusts that ripple the ferns and palms. Rain lashes the undergrowth, soaking fur and flinging mud into wide, determined eyes. The band presses on toward the riverbank, balancing speed and caution, using leaves to shield their young from the deluge. One adult female lifts a child onto her back, cradling it under a woven canopy of fronds, while the others form a protective semicircle, guiding each other along slippery roots and moss-covered stones. Lightning flashes, briefly illuminating the entire scene, vines twisting like serpents, tree trunks bowing under the storm, and the river roaring with newfound fury. Yet within the chaos, a pattern of survival emerges. Cooperation, ingenuity, and instinct converge. Stones are collected to reinforce a temporary barrier against rising water. A fallen branch becomes a raft for carrying edible roots across a rapid stream. Each action, small and deliberate, demonstrates a mastery of the rainforest's challenges, a choreography of life against elements that are both beautiful and merciless. The storm rages on, drenching the canopy, until branches snap under the weight of water. The Australopithecus band huddles beneath a hollow buttress root, their bodies pressed close, shivering not from cold, but from the unrelenting violence of nature. Thunder booms overhead, each strike rolling through their chests like the call of some primeval god. Yet survival cannot wait for calm. Hunger gnaws at their bellies, and when the rain softens, they push forward, their senses sharpened by the knowledge that storms often drive predators from cover. The earth squelches beneath their feet as they step into a clearing, where the lush vegetation has been flattened by wind. Broken branches and scattered fruit litter the ground, a sudden feast gifted by chaos itself. They gather greedily, stuffing mouths and pouches of leaves, their relief punctuated by low grunts of satisfaction. But just as quickly, danger reveals itself. A python, swollen and sluggish after feeding, uncoils from a broken tree and slides toward the clearing. Its scales shimmer in the half-light, its tongue flickering as it tastes the air. The band erupts into motion, stones, lifted branches, hurled shrieks piercing the humid air. They do not kill the serpent, but drive it back into the undergrowth, a reminder that here in the rainforest, every gift is shadowed by peril. Later, when the rains retreat and the forest breathes again, they follow the swollen river's edge where fish flicker like silver shards beneath the surface. One elder crouches, cupping water into a folded leaf and drinking deeply, then dips a sharpened stick into the shallows, stabbing quick and precise. A fish thrashes, pulled from the water in triumph, and the band rallies, taking turns spearing and tearing their diet, enriched by the bounty of the current. Yet even as they feast, another conflict brews. Across the river, the same rival Homo habilis troop reappears, their silhouettes sharp against the glimmering surface. They too hunt the river's gifts, but now the water has divided them. A tense moment passes, eyes locked across the torrent. Then one Australopithecus pounds a stone against a hollow log, sending echoes of dominance through the trees. The rival troop answers with their own percussion, the forest resounding with a primal dialogue of defiance. The river surges between them like a boundary drawn by nature. And though no blows are exchanged, the message is clear. This land is contested, and survival is not only against beasts and storms, but against kin shaped by the same struggle. As the day wanes, the rainforest transforms. The heat of the sun releases steam from the sodden earth, and insects swarm in clouds, their hum rising like a chorus. The band ascends a ridge where strangler figs weave natural ladders into the canopy. From above, they survey a world both hostile and bountiful. Endless green, stretching to the horizon, smoke from lightning-scorched trees curling into the sky, and the distant roar of waterfalls hidden within the jungle's heart. Here, the Australopithecus discover a cave, its entrance, marked by claw scratches, a predator's lair, abandoned in haste. They enter cautiously, scattering dried leaves and bones before settling in the cool shadows. Within, they kindle sparks by striking stones, coaxing tiny embers into smoldering bundles of bark. Fire is rare in the rainforest, but lightning has gifted them fragments of flame, carried carefully within resin and guarded like treasure. The glow illuminates their fur, their eyes reflecting the dance of survival and innovation, a fleeting sanctuary against the vast, breathing wilderness outside. Night descends swiftly in the rainforest, the canopy swallowing the last embers of daylight, until only the fire within the cave pushes back the dark. Shadows ripple across the walls, shaping the band into giants in their own myth. The crackle of flame is joined by the growls of distant predators, jaguars prowling unseen, their roars vibrating through the trees like an ancient drumbeat. The Australopithecus tighten their circle embers in hand, their survival bound to fragile light. Suddenly, the stillness shatters. From the cave's edge, a pair of glowing eyes pierces the dark, followed by the low rumble of a leopard. It advances, muscles rolling beneath spotted fur, hunger driving it into the heart of firelight. The band erupts in chaos, stones hurled, branches aflame, thrust forward, cries reverberating from deep within their chests. The predator lunges, striking one of the male's claws, raking across his shoulder before the fire sears its flank. It recoils, snarling, then vanishes back into the trees, leaving behind only the echo of violence and the pounding of hearts. The wounded male collapses, blood darkening his fur, and the band springs into action. One female crushes medicinal leaves into a pungent paste, pressing it into the gash, while another gathers resin to seal the wound. They chant in guttural rhythm, a cadence of fear transmuted into courage. Their care a shield as strong as fire itself. The storm outside has ended, but within the cave, the ritual of healing binds them tighter than any weapon could. Hours pass, and the wounded male stirs pain etched in his face, yet life still burning in his eyes. Relief washes over the band like a second dawn. At first light, the rainforest glistens, cleansed by rain and shadow. Mist curls around buttress roots, and the cries of howler monkeys echo as if announcing survival itself. The band emerges from the cave eyes, scanning a world reborn. They move together toward the river, carrying firebrand and wounded kin, their unity a living fortress. At the bank, they drink deeply, share fruits and spear fish, laughter, rumbling low like the forest's own heartbeat. In that circle of nourishment, blood-washed wounds, tended bellies, filled the struggle, transforms into triumph. For in the rainforest, survival is never solitary. It is the story of many hands, many voices bound together against the weight of storm, predator, and hunger. And in that unity lies the seed of humanity's legend, whispered first beneath the trees 6.7 million years ago.